Mashers, as you can tell, this is already a good one. It's time for another episode of the Weekly Mash, where we spotlight incredible indie authors bringing fresh stories to our bookshelves. Today, we're diving into something sharp, witty, and a little bit twisted in the best way. We are so thrilled to have Meghan Saint, author of Through Dishonest Eyes, which is a dark romantic comedy, which fits since we're all laughing already. We have biting humor, vulnerability, and a whole lot of messy real-life honesty. All right, Meghan, thank you so much for joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, so as you said, I'm Meghan Saint. I'm originally from Kansas City, the Kansas side, not the Missouri side, even though they're basically the same place, but we hold like weird border things. But now I live in Ontario, Canada. Through Dishonest Eyes specifically is a glimpse of a fictionalized retelling of incidents that actually occurred in my life in 2015.
Wow.
Because not surprising to most people, my life is a bit of a clusterfuck. And it felt like a fantastic thing to immortalize that in a dark romantic comedy that really makes you question if I'm okay. So it's been going pretty well.
And you guys missed it. We didn't hit record yet, but Meghan and I became best friends.
Yes, we are best friends now.
There was a lot of laughing.
There was.
A lot of laughing.
There was.
Yes.
It was worth it.
Boy.
We're like, we haven't even hit record yet, and we're already having the best time of our lives. It was fun. So, Meghan, let's start out easy peasy. Can you give us your author elevator pitch? Who is Meghan Saint, and what do you want listeners to know about your writing?
So, I am a strange person who ends up, there's a likelihood that I've been cursed by a witch. So, but it makes me a more fun person to be around. And you will find that in everything I write.
I love it.
I believe you. I definitely believe you.
I was going to say, it's a pretty consistent mess of existence, but I sure do love it.
Yeah, this has been fun and it's only been a couple minutes, so. Your socials are full of witty and relatability. How much of that humor and honesty seeps directly into your work?
Constantly. So I actually had to remove some stuff from when I was writing the book because some of it was too relatable back to things that had actually occurred. And I didn't want to offend friends and family because I put a lot of thoughts that I had internally on things. And I'll be honest, I have a limited filter and my snark is nonstop. So when dealing with things like coming from a very large family like I did, I have 5 brothers and sisters, I said a lot of really mean things in my head that I never repeated.
I believe it.
And I want some of my siblings to still like me afterwards. So I had to tamper that down or come at them with a disclosure of, this is my mindset from 10 years ago, which then my sister said, no, you're still a bitch. And I was like, yeah, that's fair.
And you're like, let me take that badge and I'll put it right here.
I was like, I'll accept that answer.
I feel like my 9-year-old could be you when she's older. She's no filter whatsoever. Her face doesn't filter. Her voice doesn't filter. Like, you know exactly what she's thinking when she's thinking it.
Yeah.
It's a gift. Like, I remember there was a random Christmas where I ratted out my sister for something she did like 10 years prior because I thought I had told everybody already. I was like, yeah, that day that Cassie had, what was his name? Her ex leaving the house. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, yeah. And he was over here that one random Saturday morning because he'd stayed the night. And my mom did not know because there was always like 1,000 people in our house. So who was going to notice this random 17-year-old leaving the house? And I thought everybody knew. And I ruined Thanksgiving. Like the daggers that were thrown at me. My God, like my sister still got in trouble. And I'm like, wow, Mom did a number on us.
It's funny because me and Miranda have been starting to make all these like TikToks about like how she's the one that got us in trouble or like it was all her fault. Because Miranda's, if you couldn't tell, Miranda was like the innocent one and I was the, I'm going to prove to you that the sky's green even though I know it's blue kind of a girl. And so my mom's like, is this really how it was growing up? And we're like, yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So since I have so many siblings, I was closer to my older brother, who's 4 years older than me. And there was this day where we got into a fight, and I grabbed this wax apple because my mom had all this stupid, like, fake fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it and I just threw it, and I beamed him in the head. So he started screaming. I rush over, I grab that apple, I lay on the floor, and I start crying. And my dad walks in. He's like, "What the hell is going on?" And I'm like, "He hit me." And he got spanked so bad. And, like, in adulthood, like, I held this into my heart forever because he was like, "Megan knew." And I'm like, "I didn't know shit. You can't prove this."
No.
And then I finally admitted it. He was like, "Hold up." And he called our dad. I was like, "We're in our 30s, sir."
Me and Miranda were fighting one time. And she's like, "I'm going to punch you in the face." I'm like, because I was the abusive one. I'm not, know why I'm doing air quotes. I was the abusive one. She's like, "I'm going to hit you. I'm going to punch you in the face." And I'm like, do it, like egging her on. And she sucker punched me right in the nose. And then she ran.
That's what you,
Because I felt bad.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I usually felt bad, but like the joys of growing up with so many siblings and like that constant chaos is you kind of become like, my husband referred to it as like prison. Like, he would come over for dinner and we're all like eating like this, and you would have like nieces and nephews pop their hands up and grab stuff off your plate. So it was just kind of like you get used to just being mean to each other that you forget that you're actually related and are supposed to like one another.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like, we used to have a game because like we were raised very Catholic. So you have to hold hands at one point, and it's supposed to be like this singing and doing a prayer. We would dig our fingernails into the other person's hand, and whoever would scream and flip out lost. Because then my mom would be like, because my mom was like one of those very strict Catholic moms, and she would be like, "I'm gonna knock you guys out." And so if we like made a noise, we knew we were gonna get in trouble. So it was just like almost drawing blood from each other.
Who's
All
gonna break
because
first?
We
all
had to
six
sit
of
on the
us.
carpet and hug each other.
Oh my God.
And I would sit there and like pinch her back.
See, my parents never forced us to do affection. That's probably why we're the way we are. Like, there was never that. It was usually like, I remember we got really good into slap fights, and my dad was just like, "Well, they're gonna hit each other anyways." Like, my dad was literally the most apathetic parent I've ever seen. Like, my spouse actually really cares about our son. I'm like, is this what real parents are supposed to be like? Like, I feel so bad. Like, I was working on one of my other books, and I had to write a scene between one of the characters and her dad. And I'm like, whoa, is this what a loving father-daughter relationship sounds like? Am I doing this right? Or is this just like, because it almost sounds perverted. And I'm like, wait, no, people do hug their children. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Working through therapy while writing art.
Yeah.
And it's free. It just costs you.
Exactly.
Well, it's not free, but
The process
You don't
of
have to
putting
pay
it on the
somebody else.
paper.
To be
Everything
fair,
after.
my therapist did ask for a copy of the book. She was like, "It gives me more insight into you." And I'm like, "Okay, yep, that's fair."
there you go.
I'm like, might save me a couple sessions.
Because now you know everything.
You know everything. You know why I'm the way I am. And she's like, "Wait, but you did therapy in the book." And I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't do therapy in real life." She's like, "Yeah, I know."
But now I'm dealing with.
She's like, "This is my problem."
Oh
She gets paid $150 a week. She's fine.
I mean, how bad is that?
Could be worse.
Could be
Yeah.
worse.
You get paid to listen to me and doodle. Like,
Well, and I mean, like she said, it's not very common to have somebody who seems to be moderately functional from the level of narcissistic household I came from. So I might be in a textbook someday. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
kind of like the first edition.
Well, to be honest, my husband's in a textbook, and I'm like, damn, why wasn't I abused? Devastating. One of these days.
I'll be first in line to get it.
I was going to say, it's a small competition in this house. It's miserable.
Yeah.
I love
gosh,
it.
I'm dying already. So you specifically, oh my gosh, call this a dark romantic comedy. What does it mean to you, and how does it come alive in Brianna's story?
Yeah, so it's a dark romantic comedy because, and this is where I had to be very careful because I know dark romance gets portrayed with like stalking and things like that. And while there is stalking, it's in no way romantic. It's instead narcissistic, no contact parents. So it goes back to this kind of thing of like the content of the story is dark. We are dealing with characters who both came from abusive households, who are neurodivergent, and they are grappling with the fact that they've kind of trauma bonded together into a relationship because they met when they were 16 and 17 and they just kind of clung to each other. It was two kids who were just desperate to get away from their situations. And that's where the darkness is, because the content itself, I could see it hurting, like causing some people to not feel great reading it. Like you're not going to read it and be like, you're not going to read it and be like, oh, it's like a cutesy cafe in a small city. Instead, it's like, oh God, I'm in Kansas City, Kansas. And they're literally talking about like a dumpster fire. And it's a legitimate dumpster fire. And that's kind of like the atmosphere of it. And so, but what makes it the romantic comedy part of it, it is very romantic. It is two individuals who are severely damaged, who are trying to make it in their life. And it is hilarious how shitty their lives are that kind of impacts them. Because at the end of the day, it's like everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to kind of have that happy ever after. But what happens if both people are damaged to their core by an environment to get to that? And it's like, there's no gimmicks. There's none of this like, oh, and one day my heart was fixed and I no longer wanted to yell at the walls. They have to do their work. They have to do therapy. They have to take accountability for the shit they're doing to each other. And that's why it's a trilogy, because it isn't going to get all sorted in book one. That'd be too clean.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to read it now.
I know.
It's fun in a fundamentally fucked up way, but it's fun.
Yeah, this is why we're friends.
Gosh. Okay. So we have Brianna being a character who's constantly wearing different masks. Overachiever, cool girl, responsible one. What drew you to write about the lies we tell ourselves and others?
So that part was 110% based off of my own experience. Because growing up in the household that I did, I learned pretty quickly on that you have to kind of make a story to get attention. Because I could get in trouble. That didn't really get me much. Because like my older siblings were already getting in trouble all the time. And I started kind of testing what my mother wanted me to be, and kind of like, I basically, there's a thing in software called A/B testing where you do like design. So I'd just be A/B testing my personality to my mom and be like, hey, I really like art right now. And she'd be like, okay. I'm like, oh, I didn't get love from that. I like the piano. And I would just kind of test these personality things. And if she liked me for longer than a week, I would like stick to it. And that led to me becoming such an insane people pleaser that it wrecked my emotional. Like I didn't realize that I didn't actually have friends until I was almost 30. Because everybody that I had been friends with were in small categories. They only knew a portion of me. And at any point, if I had let them know who I really was, they did not like me. Or if they did like me, but they liked me for a reason that I didn't want. Like, I learned it took me a while to learn this, but there's some people who love to be trauma tourists, and they're just like, oh, tell me all the things about your childhood. And it got rough. So I would, and of course I wanted to make people happy. So I would tell them all these fun stories, and then it would be like, oh, Megan's a mess. And so when it came time to write that for Brianna, I had so many notes about that in my therapy journals from when I had postpartum. It was kind of easy to pull from because I had this entire persona that I used to do, which I actually did use the exact name and everything in the book, called Emily. Because that was my name was supposed to be, supposedly. And I would get really, really drunk and be out and about doing stuff. And I would like hit on guys, smoke cigarettes, which I smoked forever. I just didn't tell my husband, and he believed me for some reason.
Don't tell him now.
Oh no, he knows now. I ratted myself out, and he was like, yeah, no shit. And I'm like, oh. He's like, no one just smells like cigarettes, Megan. But I had this whole thing, and I would do it because I had this mindset that like, no one knows me. I'm out and about. My husband is in another state. I can just be this. One really was a dumbass. Like she was a dumbass personality. I don't know how many times I was like almost blackout intoxicated in bars and stuff, just by myself, just chilling. And I thought in my head, I was like, this is what I needed. But I hated myself unbelievably every single time. And it all just went back to when I did therapy for postpartum, because then all of those personalities kind of just like hit me all at once, because suddenly I no longer could be any of them. I had to be a mom. I had to keep this tiny baby alive. And I like had a huge identity crisis because of it. And it was just kind of, it really hit me to my core. And that's something I had to kind of get into the book, because Bree is the epitome of a narcissistic mom that's imprint on your psyche. It's just, you have to be what I want you to be. And if you're not, I won't love you. But then she's not going to love you anyways. So it was fun to write about.
Oh, yeah. Fun.
Sounds fun.
I used to say that randomly in therapy sessions, and one of my therapists used to be like, no, it's not fun. Stop saying that.
It was fun for me. Sorry.
I was like, what else do you want me to say? Yes, I will cry at some point.
You're like,
but
cool.
Not today. I mean, what else am I going to do?
See, I wouldn't cry. I'd just sit there and laugh an evil laugh and make her feel uncomfortable.
That is my MO as well. I pay them $150 and they get to enjoy my self-deprecating jokes. It's fine. It's like a reverse stand-up.
Oh my goodness.
Sophie, I can't even talk. Wow. Speaking of dysfunction, oh my gosh, me, dysfunction. Let's talk about, in the book has family dysfunction, relationships, and that messy balance between love and truth. What do you hope readers take away when they see Brianna struggle with these things?
I hope that they can have empathy, because one of the big things, which I love writing about, like messy heroines, because my other book series also, she's a mess and I love Ava, but she's a damn mess. It's having empathy for people who are in a place in their journey. It's understanding that there's no such thing as a good or bad character. And it's the same thing with when you see like Bree's family, because like you want to hate some of them. You want to hate Martha, who's her mother. You want to hate Jean, who's her oldest sister. But the more that I kind of peel back on the pages about their identities, you start to kind of realize they were just kids who got put into shitty situations. Like Jean is the way she is because Jean had a shitty stepdad who was Bree's father. And Martha is the way she is because Martha is a product of the 1950s and they had lead in everything. So it's like where they're at in their journeys, you kind of have to have empathy for it. And Bree is the epitome because you're in her mind the whole time. It's all written in first person. So you're going through Bree's thoughts, Bree's moments, and you kind of want to laugh or cry along with her, because if not, you're just judging her. And it's very much a kind of a put the mirror in your face kind of book. So if you're going to spend the whole time judging her, you have to look at what you have done in your own journey. And I know that's made a couple people uncomfortable because they've been reading through it and they're just like, damn, you called me out. But it was also me calling myself out because I did like 90% of this shit. I'm a hot
It's just a way
mess.
for you to deal with it though.
Right.
Well, and
but
that's the thing. It's like Bree's decisions, Bree's reactions are a product of her environment. If she hadn't grown up in a house where she didn't have her own bedroom, if she hadn't grown up in a place where it was constant noise, she wouldn't be the kind of person that she is now. And that's the key, is like understanding and seeing the journey. And that's where I just really want people to kind of grasp that it's not clean. It's never going to be clean. And even when they think it is a happily ever after, it's still not, because these people got shit to work through. So
like everyone does in real life.
Well,
Right.
and it's like, to be honest, like I got inspired a lot by like books like Okatar and stuff, because when I was pregnant, I ate through all of that like overnight, because I was pregnant and hormonal and I just needed something, and it was a great dopamine hit. But the biggest thing that drove me insane was this romanticization of shitty characters. And there's no consequences. Nothing happened. And that irked me because I want there to be consequences, because I want there to be redemption. I want people to be called out on their shit, so they have to do something about it, because to me, that's actual growth. That's actual like romance. Because nothing is hotter than a dude going to therapy and crying, like sploosh, just done. So
even more if I cry with him.
Yeah.
Like I actually, well, that was one of the things. My husband, he used to have me come to therapy with him because he had a pretty traumatic childhood. But his therapist's office was so like fantastic hippie. I loved her so much. She had a basket of like stuffed animals. And so he would just kind of like, and of course, this was like adults. Like there was, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 children that she saw, but it was mostly adults who had arrested development. So he would like pull like a stuffed animal and stuff out. And I'd just be sitting there hugging the pillows and stuff as there's like incense burning in the background. And I'm like, man, this place is so chill. I've never been in another therapist's office like that ever again.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, she was great. And she did EDMR, which is a type of therapy where you follow a dot and it helps you separate your mind from the trauma. And so I would just be sitting there with him and I'm like trying to be his comfort. I'm just watching the dot. And he's talking about his trauma. And I'm like, I also have worked through trauma. It was beautiful.
2 for 1 special.
It's how you double up.
Yep. I went to therapy once, and it was at school after something traumatic happened in our life, and the therapist looked at me and said, I can't, you're gonna have to go somewhere else who can handle you better. And what was I, like 9?
I don't even know.
I don't
I don't remember that.
We had a really weird counselor at the Catholic elementary school I was at. I don't even know how they had that because we didn't even have like a lunchroom, but we, for some reason, had a counselor.
No, you don't get lunch.
But she burnt sage like 24/7 in her office. I assumed that she thought the thing was haunted. And I got called up there like every other week because I would be me. And that was apparently not okay. So I got pulled up there one day because I got really into vampires. I hyperfixate like a motherfucker. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer was out when I was, of course, like, how old was I? Like 10? So I drew a picture of a woman who had a dagger in her heart. That got me sent up there. And I had to talk about my feelings and why I felt like drawing violent images. And then I just explained, no, she got staked. She didn't get it. It got me in trouble. Then I get bullied, and then I have to go up there to talk about why they want to bully me. And I'm like, excuse me, this is not my fault. But I just like now, like it sucks because I love the smell of burning sage, but I'm also like PTSD
It
of
just
that
brings
woman.
you right back. Yeah.
She looked like Professor Trelawney with like the huge thick glasses and like lots of jewelry and stuff. And I was like, damn, lady. I can't, like, I assume she's dead by now. She's gotta be.
No,
Maybe.
those ones always live forever.
See, I thought that. But like, so like my husband has a great aunt who's a nun or was a nun. She left the church because she married a female parishioner and it was a whole big scandal.
Okay.
That sounds like a whole other book.
Oh my God. Sister Barbara is amazing. Like, I mean, and she's horrible. Like, she was a horrible woman, but like, the story is like amazing. Like I would make her out to be like an amazing person because in fact she was just an old lady who hit kids with rulers. But she like randomly died a couple years ago and no one in his family told anybody. They were just like, yeah, Barb died. And I'm like, it's because you guys are now being bigots. But when she was just a crazy nun, you guys were cool with it. But then when she left the church and ended up with a woman, now you guys have a problem. But I imagine she had to be cremated just simply because I don't think anyone, she was not a nice person. Like I would think I was in 2nd grade and she hit me with a ruler because I wasn't standing up straight enough. And then when I met my husband and he was like, yeah, we don't really talk to that side of the family because that's where Sister Barbara is from. And I'm like, Phil, you talking about Sister Barbara? So Catholic trauma, constant.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna move into some fun and quirky here. Not that it hasn't been that way already. Since your book is all about honesty or lack thereof, we're going to play a quick round of 2 truths and a lie, author edition.
Ooh.
So you tell us 3 things and we'll guess which one the lie is. And then listeners can comment too and tell us which one they think it is. Just pause it if you don't want to hear the answer right away.
The 2 truths and a lie. Okay. My middle name is Brianna. I have lived in 6 countries and I was hit by a police officer on a motorcycle at a St. Patrick's Day parade when I was 9 years old and ended up in the hospital for almost a month and had my kidney damaged. which led to a 10-year diet of only 500 mg of sodium per day to prevent internal bleeding.
That is way too specific. My guess is number 1 is the lie.
No.
I was going to say number 2.
Yeah. I've lived in 4 countries.
It's
Man,
easy.
that number 3 is like...
Marianne's like, that's the truth.
It's too I mean, you're an author, so you could have made that up if you wanted to. But I feel like that was just too specific for it to be the lie.
It's so detailed too. Like the worst part about it, when it happened, because I don't remember the day. I just know I woke up in the hospital and my mom was flipping her shit because my oldest sister took me to the parade and the parades were handing out stuff and I just walked out there and a cop hit me. I flew like 50 feet. Apparently it was very dramatic.
Only 50 feet. Only 50.
Only 50.
Well, oh my gosh. Like if you ask my oldest sister, she was like, Meghan died for 10 minutes. There's no proof of that. No one actually thinks I died. But my sister made it sound like that. And of course, one of my ex-brother-in-law, he was like, yeah, I mean, you bounced a few times. The descriptions that everybody gives me, like I have an entire like animation in my head of me just being like, do. Like I don't actually know what happened. I just know that my knees were skinned so bad that like it was pretty bad. Like I had to have my knees wrapped up and stuff. And they thought that was the only issue because I didn't have a concussion, even though I had a little mini coma for like a day.
Only a mini one.
A mini one.
No
a siesta, you could say. Just a little nap. It was fine. But it wasn't until a couple of days later in the hospital I started having internal bleeding, and they were like, "What's going on here?" And they found out that basically the trauma from the accident caused my body to start digesting sodium in a way that it stripped calcium from my bones and would slice into my kidneys, which actually has a very fancy name that I did not know until I had a doctor randomly say it. It was something like hydro something. I don't know, but it sucked.
Yeah.
But the best part about it, my mom didn't know that I had painted myself from head to toe in green body paint. And so she gets a phone call. And this is like, I think this is like this would have been like 1997, 98. Oh, 98. My little brother was already born. So she's on her like brick of a cell phone. And the doctor's like, yeah, so she is breathing. She isn't conscious. She's a little green. My mom had no idea what the he was talking about. So she guns it and gets there. And then she sees that I am head to toe covered in green body paint. And she was like, who the let her do this? And so like on all these photos of me in the hospital, my hand is still green.
Oh my gosh.
Because they got the IV
in over her whole body.
But like my mom thought like my organs were dying or something. Like something horrible had happened. And
it's
so
a little green.
She's just a little green. It was like that doctor was amazing. Like he had so many jokes. It was so great. My mother hated him by the end of the trip.
Oh god.
But yeah, so yeah, that one is definitely
walking in and you being completely green.
Oh, it was. My dad said it was the single funniest thing he ever saw.
Wow.
Because I had like a green turtleneck, green tights, green body paint, green jumper dress thing, and they cut that off of me. My mom was like, you could have cut it at the seam. I handmade that. Like my mother was so pissed about that part. Like she would let go everything else, but she's like, you cut the jumper dress?
Couldn't have unzipped it.
She was so angry about
Not the fact that you were in the hospital from getting hit,
right?
But yeah. Oh my gosh. Like when our health insurance got canceled over it, my mom's first response was, could you have like maybe not gotten hit? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Next time I'll just avoid it.
Well, then they just stopped putting me on the family plan and they could keep getting health insurance. So then I would be like a random one-off back, at the olden days of American healthcare, which was awful. I mean, it's still awful.
Yeah.
It was really bad back then. I was an uninsurable 10-year-old.
Oh my gosh. That'd be my oldest. She's always
Oh
somewhere.
my goodness.
At least your oldest
dying.
was born. At least your oldest was born in a new generation. That's the only
Right.
benefit. Like
Yeah.
my husband and I actually got married in 2009 because I needed health insurance because the system didn't have the digitized records yet. So my name change suddenly made me a new person. How does the U.S. system, like, how did it survive? I just want to be clear. They
I don't
believe
get it sometimes. I really don't.
Like, they believed a 9-year-old would collapse the healthcare system so much that they denied me health insurance. But then all I had to do was fucking get married and change my name, and suddenly I'm a new person? I still have a J kidney. Like, kidding?
Magic.
I mean, at least Obama made it so they can't bar me from pre-existing conditions. And he digitized the record, so now I can't do that again. Like, I can't, like, get remarried and change my name again.
I can't just go marry someone else.
Just go down the roster of new names for health insurance.
If you work for the government, no, you don't. You were never here.
I said nothing.
We're invisible. This is for educational purposes only.
It's fictional. Fictional. We're talking about books. It's all fiction.
Books.
Exactly. Like the disclaimer in the
story.
beginning of my book. This is a fictionalized retelling with fiction in bold. Do not sue me, my siblings or family or anybody who thinks they may or may not be in this book, including my husband, who has joked to me. My God, my husband multiple times has been like, I'm in this and I don't like it. And I'm like, I don't care. Shut up.
No, you're not. It's fiction.
Oh my goodness.
Megan, we've had so much fun. That was all of our questions. Seriously, we just need to be friends forever.
Yes, we do.
And whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm just messaging you.
You should. I kind of have a bit of a support circle of various indie authors that message me.
I love that.
Now you have some podcasters who...
There you go.
So before we leave, last question. Where can we find you? Where can we find your books? All of the good things, Megan.
Yes. So on social media, you can find me under Meghan Saint's Rights, or Meghan Saint Rights. That's how I do it. Also, my website, meghansaint.com. You can buy physical copies of my books on my website. They will be on like Amazon, Indigo, and all of those soon. I have to wait for my designer to finish the print because they won't let you just like say there's going to be a print book.
Right.
Yeah.
But luckily my designer is amazing, but she got sick. She had to get the plague. Bad timing. So we will hopefully have that uploaded this weekend. But yeah, so that will be there. But on my website, the prices are lower than they would be on Amazon, Kobo, and all of that because so you can support me directly. And there's also the signed version, which will have a bookmark and stuff, which the bookmark, I do have an existing one. Very cool.
That's cool.
But I'm waiting to find out if my niece is going to do it. I commissioned my niece to draw me the Briannas on a bookmark. So she's on a mission. I have to remind her, though, that she actually has a time limit. So we'll see how this goes.
Not about that. We were supposed to be selling our bookmarks at Miranda Design.
They'll get there eventually.
That's my slack, because Miranda can't do everything.
And that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I make bookmarks.
To be honest, when I got the bookmarks, I found out because I was going to this convention called Steel City Love in Hamilton, Ontario. And they told me the day before that I could bring stuff to put at like the indie author table. And I was like, so I had to like speed order sticker prints and all of that. And I had all of these and I made these custom tassels for the bookmarks and they were beautiful. They tangled. All of them tangled. I own, like at some point, like I left because I was going to a book workshop to learn more about tropes and everything. And I'm like, I left my husband and toddler and I'm like, can you fix this? And he was like, I'll try. He ended up cutting them. So like half of them didn't even have tassels. And I just have this ball of tangled tassels in my purse. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. That's a decision.
Whatever.
But then
I knew about this a couple days ago. Give me some.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everybody cleared out all of the bookmarks and stuff in the first 5 minutes. So it was crazy. And then I had leftover ones that I let the 2-year-old hand out to people. Because no one will say no to a 2-year-old.
No.
Right.
Especially because he was in overalls. He was so cute.
Sounds cute. I need another little one. Just kidding, I don't.
I mean, babies suck, but also, like, all I keep thinking is, man, that is the one thing that would really make my life even worse right now is having a baby. So all I keep thinking is, okay, let's do this. Get it done. Do number 2.
There's a reason why I'm a preschool teacher. It's so I don't have any more babies.
It's a good idea.
But
that's the thing. I married a guy who raises my kids. So I get to be like the detached 1950s husband. And that's kind of nice because I can be like, ooh, children, too much. But then just have them.
And you can love them when you want to.
Exactly.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
we know serial killers come from absent fathers and mean mothers. Well, I'm a nice mother. I'm just slightly absent. That's fine.
It's like the perfect balance. So
He
you
has a
don't cross
very
that serial
loving,
killer line.
yeah, like he has an affectionate father and he has a moderately affectionate mother. More affectionate than I had. So, and I'm
See, you're already
moderately
doing better
okay.
than your mom did for you.
Right? Yeah.
Isn't
You're
that
already breaking the cycle.
Oh, Megan, thank you so much. We had so much fun. We'll be back next week with more books, more authors, more mischief. Until then, keep reading, keep laughing, of course, because that's all we've been doing this whole time, and keep being a little bit honest or not. Bye.